Welcome to the week that was, but we mostly wish it wasn't, for the week ending February 13th, 2026. This is a weekly roundup of the highlights and lowlights of campus anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. This week I had around 40 stories to choose from. If something is happening in your neck of the woods, please be sure to let me know. I'm your host, Andrew Pessin. I'm a professor. Please don't hate me. For more about me and my work, visit andrewpessin.com. For all the details of today's stories and loads more stories, please follow me on X at Andrew Pessin. An announcement. I have launched the Institute for the Critical Study of Anti-Zionism because we need teams of scholars producing reams of scholarship about anti-Zionism. I'm proud to announce the inaugural webinar series is set to begin in a week and a half or so. I am showing you the flyer for it. So I'm grateful to High Mitzvah Scholar Circle for supporting this series called Anti-Zionism, The History of an Ideology, a special six-part series. Here is the lineup. For your purposes, please note the first talk is February 22nd, 9 days from now. Professor Richard Landis will be speaking on the Great Lethal Projection, Anti-Zionism's Debt to the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. And as you can see, approximately every 2 weeks thereafter, there'll be another webinar. These are free and open to the public. I encourage you to pre-register. If you can't make them live, then if you pre-register, you'll get a link to the recording afterwards. So please check these out. Please come spread the word and definitely participate because as we'll see as we get through today's stories, anti-Zionism is the scourge of our time. Okay, I begin with a very important piece that was published this week. AMCHA Initiative has issued a major new report on the role that faculty members play in driving Jew hatred on the University of California campuses. The report documents hundreds of examples of faculty using classrooms, departmental program and communications, and faculty group activism to promote an anti-Israel agenda, and it directly links them to the dramatic surges in anti-Semitism on these campuses post-October 7th. Okay, let's get to the news. I'm going to do things slightly differently this week. We're going to start with K through 12, and then we're going to build up to what I think is truly a major story just breaking from yesterday that requires public response. So K through 12 was particularly busy domain in this past week or so. The United Teachers of Los Angeles, a teachers union that represents 35,000 educators in the LA area, is co-sponsoring an event with Educators for Justice in Palestine. I need not give you the further details to get a sense of what that's about. So the teachers are bringing this campaign into the classroom. In San Diego, a special ed teacher was fired after uploading an anti-Semitic video saying that, quote, Israelis steal kidneys, livers, and eyes. End quote. A former member of the San Diego Unified School District in California, the teacher was removed from the staff after the Jewish community pressured the authorities. We need the Jewish community to begin stepping up. Several K through 12 stories in our friendly neighbor, not so friendly neighbor to the north, Canada. The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario has engaged independent Jewish voices to deliver anti-Semitism training to its executive committee. Problem is, IJV is a fringe validly anti-Zionist organization that has been selected to give the anti-Semitism training. I suspect they will not see anti-Zionism as a form of Jew hatred. Ontario School District has paid $70,000 for some anti-Palestinian racism teacher training, but refuses to divulge the contents of that training. Anti-Palestinian racism is this newest trend, and basically it says if you don't swallow the Palestinian narrative hook, line, and sinker in every single detail, then you are an anti-Palestinian racist. It doesn't matter if it contains historical falsehoods. Quebec City, a 16-year-old has been charged with a terrorism-related offense after an investigation. The individual allegedly used social media to promote the violent ideology of a U.S.-based neo-Nazi group, Atomwaffen Division, which is designated as a terror entity in Canada. So this is what they're teaching them there. South Africa, K through 12. Big news this past week. A private girls' school team refused to play a tennis match with a team from a Jewish school. In the blowback to that, the community did step up. The head of school has apologized and has apparently now stepped down. All right, to the campus news. University of Maryland, this week, the student government there passed the fourth anti-Israel resolution of the school year. This one passed 19-0 with one abstention, and it was yet another version of a BDS resolution because apparently three anti-Israel resolutions is not enough for a school year. CUNY Law is announcing this week that it is to be hosting a lecture whose main thesis seems to be that Hamas tunnels are an expression of anti-colonial resistance, not a terror haven in which you can kidnap and hold hostage and torture and sexually assault Israeli hostages. UC Davis this week approved an SJP-sponsored event entitled A Night of Resistance, which is being promoted with violent militarized imagery of a dove wearing a suicide vest and eliminationist rhetoric. Northwestern University said on Friday that it is investigating several hateful symbols that were painted on signs and other items on campus recently. Um, one social media user posted a picture of what appeared to be a Nazi SS symbol on a cement fence post on campus. So things are picking up there at Northwestern. Um, Yeshiva University in New York City. Last night, I believe it was, a Yeshiva University student was assaulted by 6 to 8 masked attackers. Physical assault coming. And then finally, a story about DePaul University in Chicago. I just want to read this to you. Um, this is now making the rounds on social media and other places. The person writes, I want to update you on a deeply upsetting incident that occurred yesterday at Olive and Oak. Remember that name, Olive and Oak, a coffee shop next to DePaul's campus. Hillel and other staff were running coffee hours for students to come by and chat, grab a cup of coffee, and spend time together. 12 Jewish students from DePaul, Loyola, and Roosevelt were there. The gathering was publicized on Hillel's social media. Hillel's staff and students had been enjoying Olive and Oak for weeks without incident. As the Jewish students started to arrive, other students wearing keffiyehs and sweatshirts um, shouting with keffiyehs and sweatshirts with invectives like globalize the intifada began streaming in. They began talking loudly about anti-Semitic tropes related to Israel and allegations that Israel is committing war crimes. The disrupting students asked the cafe to start playing Palestinian music loudly and started dancing while chanting Free Palestine, Free Palestine. A Jewish staff member went outside to make a security call, and on her way back in, one of the agitating students deliberately shoulder checked her. Several of the anti-Jewish students were recognized to be members of DePaul's SJP. They asked the Olive and Oak staff, hey, can we kick them out? And continued shouting Free Palestine at the Jewish students while being cheered on by Olive and Oak staff. Again, Olive and Oak coffee shop in Chicago. The Jewish students were understandably upset and got up to leave the cafe. As they were walking out, the aggressors and Olive and Oak staff, an owner, chanted, We won, while filming and photographing the Jewish group walking out. Hillel students, especially those who experienced the encampments firsthand, were deeply disturbed, and Hillel staff sat with them afterward to process what happened. Said one student leader, quote, This is just one more place I've been excluded from since I started college. I can't be in social clubs, I can't be in Greek life, and now I can't go to a local cafe simply because I'm Jewish. The person concludes, the behavior of the SJP students and Olive and Oak staff is completely unacceptable. Anti-Zionism is a hate movement. It targets Jews. It targets them for harassment, ostracization, and violence. The Yeshiva University student was physically assaulted by a group of 6 to 8 masked assailants. This is what anti-Zionism is doing. This is why we need, amongst other things, teams of scholars producing reams of scholarship exposing anti-Zionism for the hate ideology that it is. That's an opinion piece to close. That's the news, unfortunately. Tune in next week to see what fresh horrors next week shall bring. Again, I'm your host, Andrew Pessin at andrewpessin.com, and hoping everybody can keep it together till next week.